I'm holding up a picture of the orchestra I used to play in. So I was the lead violinist, the concertmaster of an orchestra for 15 years. Okay. That's second in command to the conductor. And it didn't matter how I showed up that day. However I showed up, that was going to have a ripple effect throughout the orchestra and the audience. So I had to be at the top of my game. I always had to show up. And people expect musicians to get into the music, right? We're not going to be disengaged employees on a stage because nobody would come to the concert.
Right. You're literally on stage.
Literally on stage. And you're expected to get into the music because that creates a transformational experience for everyone, right?
Yeah. So I think, I'll make a comment on that. So not many people know this, but I used to play cello in orchestra, like back in school. So I'm nowhere near your accomplishment, but I will tell to the listeners, the lead violinist is a big freaking deal. And everybody in the orchestra has to follow the energy and the down to the way that the bow is being moved across the violin, because that's all part of the performance. It's part of the energy of the music. And you're not just watching the conductor, you're watching that lead violinist, because they set the tone. So it's very similar to like a workplace where you've got like a line leader or a line manager that's like, they're taking what the CEO says and they're actually deploying it throughout the workplace. That's how I would describe that for those that aren't like orchestra nerds like me.
Describe it is like, if the conductor is the CEO, I'm basically interpreting what the conductor is doing to make it accessible for the orchestra members.
Right, because the orchestra, you're watching the nonverbal mannerisms of everybody around you, especially that lead violin, because you're also looking at the music and you don't have all the music memorized. So you're watching like 6 different inputs at the same time, and so much of it you're actually intuitively understanding the energy that's coming at you from everybody else around you. So it's a very like organic. It's hard to explain. Like it's really hard for me to explain it verbally, but that's what it's like. It's like you're actually sensing the energy, around you. That's what that's kind of what it's feeling. That's why I love it. That's what I loved about it, right? Like it's such a cool experience, right?
So because I do speak for a lot of leadership events, when you are getting into the music, when you are getting into your work, like a musician gets into the music, I don't care if you're washing fish, you're cutting pipe, or you're having a high-end brainstorming meeting to revolutionize whatever, right? There is an energy there. Mm-hmm. Maybe it looks like enthusiasm. Maybe it looks like your friend who on Friday night has like this thing where every Friday night they make homemade pizza. That's like, they talk about it all week. They're excited about it all week. Maybe one week they invite you over. You're not so into pizza, but for some reason you're there. You can't get, you get caught up in the enthusiasm. So flow is basically the energy of enthusiasm. And according to the Heart Math Institute, okay, when you are in flow, you are using your signature strengths, okay? We have to go into how people get into flow, because when you get into how people get into flow, you are identifying their signature strengths, but you're also identifying purpose, okay? And when you are coming from a place, whether you're getting into the music, making those pizzas, washing fish, or getting into your job, maybe it's that Excel spreadsheet where you lose all sense of time, okay? Because you just love what you're doing, that you're igniting the 40,000 neurons in your heart. And according to the Heart Math Institute, the electromagnetic field of the heart reaches out 60% greater than the brain's electromagnetic field. And it reaches out 3 feet all around you, which means everybody around you senses your energy. Now, all those people sync up to you. Now they're exuding 3-foot circles. This is literally the energetics of a ripple effect. And so as I'm leading the orchestra non-verbally, I'm doing it all energetically. I trigger it by leading myself to get into flow. If I could lead myself to get into flow, I could lead others to get into theirs.